This is episode 60 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Billy DeMoss. And what you might want to know about this interview is that it went both ways. Dr. Billy was interviewing me about Lifestyle Locker, and I was interviewing Dr. Billy D about Dr. Billy D and what he does for humanity.
It's about teaching people how they're expressing at a lower potential than they should. Again, most people come to me with back pain. I get it, dude. We're still stuck in the back pain model. And it's not till people understand what real chiropractic is about. It's about liberating the spirit within, the innate intelligence within, and getting that person to express 100% of their God-given potential through their own DNA. And again, a big factor is subluxation, the physical entity where we have interference expression from brain cell to tissue cell and tissue cell back to brain cell.
Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hen, and welcome to the Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we dive into what makes an awesome lifestyle. From relationships to money mindset, nutrition to fitness, emotional health to peak performance, we bring you on an amazing journey to unleashing your human potential. So here's a little bit about our guest today, my good friend, Dr. Billy DeMoss. He's the owner and lead chiropractor at DeMoss Chiropractic. His goal as a chiropractor is to educate and empower people with the understanding of how the human body functions so that wise decisions can be made about their health and well-being. Dr. Billy lives and works to encourage people to lead healthier and happier lives. He believes the greatest wealth of all is health. Dr. Billy is also the creator of CalJam. So here's the purpose of CalJam right from their website, right from their mouth. The purpose of CalJam is to express our desire to change the world. Our passion is to make learning fun and a thirst for increased human potential. I love that one. We educate the planet by creating an unequaled atmosphere and providing access to the world's leading experts on health and sustainability. We create a community of truth seekers that make natural solutions more attractive than harmful man-made options, ensuring the well-being of future generations. California Jam combines a TED Talk format with chiropractic education and rock and roll show. Over 24 speakers who are experts and innovators in their field take the stage throughout this amazing weekend as 2 live bands play in between. The driving objective of this event is to get attendees up to date on chiropractic research, scientific study, and useful practice management strategy. They also share amazing lifestyle work. The hope is that attendees bring all they learn at CalJam back to their communities to implement real, rippling change. So here he is, the one, the only, the raw, Dr. Billy DeMoss.
All right, Billy D here with another exciting, this is kind of be a joint podcast with a good friend of mine here, but this is another amazing pre-CalJam podcast sponsored by our great friends over at Vox Life. Jay Dollywall stepped up to the plate big time this year for CalJam to ensure that you have the most amazing program ever. Josh, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Billy. Thank you for having me, and I'm glad to have you as well.
Style Locker too.
Yeah, man. We have the podcast Lifestyle Locker Radio, which this is going to be on as well. I'm super amped to talk about, like you said, saving the world.
Yeah, changing and saving the world through living an ADIO principled life. Again, we as chiropractors, we always focus on the physical subluxation, and we don't really sometimes address the mental or the chemical subluxations, which are just, in fact, I think they're almost worse today than they've ever been. In fact, I know they are. And again, as a chiropractor, I feel it's important for me, whether you do or not, it's not really up to, what's your opinion? Do you feel it's important for chiropractors to talk about the chemical subluxations that people are, causing major toxicity in their system?
I mean, as a chiropractor, how could you not even address, even if you don't want to do it in your office, how could you not make people aware that, listen, you know what? Eating that crappy food, smoking cigarettes, whatever you may be doing that's kind of just like sitting on your ass is breaking down your central nervous system's ability to heal and function. So, I mean, how is that good? How is an adjustment going to keep helping that person that sits and eats Mickey D's all day and sits on their ass?
Right. I call it McToilet, but you call it Mickey. So what's cool about you is you look the part, dude. You know, it's like I swear I thought you were astute. I mean, I had time flies is basically what I'm saying. I met you a long time ago at New Beginnings. And I don't know if you were wet behind the ears back then. And you still look like a friggin' kid right now. I didn't know you were 30 yet. I thought you were like in your 20s. And living this lifestyle, which people want to emulate you and what you do, as long as you look the part, you look the role. I mean, if you're not in shape and you're that dude that sits on their keister too long and eats McToilet, you're not going to look good, you know? It's funny because I had a patient that went to her doctor, her pediatrician. It wasn't a patient. It was my frigging, sister-in-law. She had to do some bullshit thing to get some vaccine crap going on. I'm not going to mention her name or anything, but she said the doctor came in and he was he was obese. Okay, let's keep it at that. She said he smelled bad. He was having a hard time just respiring. I mean, he was like belabored breathing. And it's just like, how can you want to emulate somebody like that when there's people like you and I that are so vibrant and vibrating at higher levels, you know? And I know your lifestyle locker is not just a chiropractic thing. It's about teaching people a lifestyle.
Yeah, like our goal is totally like your CalJam is spreading the word of I want to say natural health of adopting that ADIO, that above, down, inside out lifestyle. We're not very different. You know, mine is the digital version. You know, I don't have 3,000 people to get to go hang out in an awesome arena, which I've been to many times and I absolutely love. And I can't wait to be there in a few weeks. But,
yeah.
Support. Oh, love it, man. I'm glad to be part of the family. But what we get to do when I get to see, and it's almost selfish, right? In a way, not that, it's exciting to learn so much. And, I had a dentist on, this guy, Dr. Stephen Lin, and he's talking about, everybody's saying, oh, microbiome, you got to learn about your microbiome, which I've been immersed in now for a couple of years. And he's like, oh, do you know where it really all starts? It's the oral microbiome. And I'm like, oh, I don't even understand what the hell this stuff means now, right? But it's so cool to see that how every single little thing we do every day has either, a plus on the vibration or a minus on the vibration.
Exactly, bro. And that's one of the things I really wanted to CalJam to me is how I could bring the team together, because we're a team. We're a team to change the planet and the consciousness. But I want people expressing at a higher level on every aspect of their life. I mean, I get the chiropractic story. I get it, dude. I was a DE dude. I met you at New Beginnings. I've been immersed in chiropractic. But to me, there's other things that we can do to take us to the next level. Like this year, we're going to have somebody talking about nootropics to really open up your brain and prevent things like Alzheimer's. We've had dentists, like you said, at the program teaching people about mercury amalgams and fluoride. We talk about vaccines. We talk about other things that are going to complement and allow a person to express at a higher level, because what we've got going on in the world today is we have a world that's trying to suppress people and control them and put them in little boxes and put them in future enslavement. And if people can't see that, and again, I know it's not chiropractic, the stuff that I talk about, but as a chiropractor and a health practitioner and a coach for people's lives, I feel it's important for me to address these issues. And again, I get, a lot of haters because of the things that we talk about, but the things that we talk about, we know are the truth. It's not conspiracy theory, bro. You just haven't looked. You haven't taken the time to do the research like you and I have.
Yeah.
It's common sense, man.
It is totally common sense. So I want to ask you this, because the audience that's listening on my end is a little different than the chiropractic audience. And I mean, there are chiropractors listening in, but you talk about looking outside of chiropractic. So if we walk into DeMoss Chiropractic in beautiful Southern California there, what's a first experience like? What are people learning those first couple of visits when they come into your practice?
They learn about subluxation, bro. That's what they learn about. Sub means less, lux means light. It's about teaching people how they're expressing at a lower potential than they should. Again, most people come to me with back pain. I get it, dude. We're still stuck in the back pain model. And it's not till people understand what real chiropractic is about. It's about liberating the spirit within, the innate intelligence within, and getting that person to express 100% of their God-given potential through their own DNA. And again, a big factor is subluxation, the physical entity where we have interference expression from brain cell to tissue cell and tissue cell back to brain cell. But again, like you said, if somebody's eating Mickey D's and getting vaccinated and watching too much TV and getting brainwashed this direction and not getting proper exercise that they should be getting, they're not living up to 100% of their God-given potential, So I'm huge chiropractic. They get subluxation. They see x-rays. We palpate. We adjust. And then I teach people things that they can do outside of being adjusted on a daily basis or 3 times a week basis or however they come in, whether it's dental roll, whether it's a prolordotic, whether it's just doing traction off the edge of their bed, sleeping on a cervical pillow, doing wobble chairs. I mean, I try to give them all kinds of things, unattended things they can do in my practice and outside the practice to augment the adjustment so they're not so dependent on me all the time. And I want to, most of all, in my practice, teach people how to think outside of the box that they've been put in.
That's so cool. That is so cool. And for those listening, and those of you who haven't been to Cal Gym, Billy D really does walk the walk and talk the talk 100%. I remember the first time showing up at Cal Gym, actually, even I think it was at New Beginnings. You walked up on stage, and I think it was Brad at the time, Glowacki, gets on stage and adjusts you. I'm
right.
Like, how cool. I mean, this guy is like, living and breathing and sharing what we do.
I mean, let's listen to Heidi Havoc stuff. I mean, you want your brain to be at 100%. I want to be that way right before I speak, dude. I mean, if you believe in chiropractic, like you say that you do, why wouldn't you get adjusted before you perform? I mean, you look at any athlete, they're going to get adjusted because they want to maximize performance. Why wouldn't I want to do that before I get on stage? And again, people say, well, it's not scientific. I get palpated before I go. It's partly, there's a little bit of showmanship in there because I love, look at BJ Palmer. He was the king of showmanship. Yeah. He was into the circus. I get palpated before, like some people go, well, I don't want to adjust you unless I have a scope. Dude, you can't palpate me and figure out my listings from all the years you've been in practice. I mean, to me, chiropractic is an art, and it's an art that all you need is your hands, bro. Again, if you got an x-ray, great. If you got a scope, great. If you got thermography, great. But literally, you look at people that go on these mission trips, they don't need all that. Basically, then they get miracles in those countries because people haven't been brainwashed into the allopathic, as I say, allopathetic model of thinking that your health is you're sick because you don't have enough drugs in you, dude. That's what people have been brainwashed to believe.
So this is good. I'm glad you brought up mission trips and miracles happening. I think this is really cool for the audience in chiropractic and the audience outside of our profession. You say brainwash, so let's dive into this. When we show, like I've been on many mission trips and adjusted probably thousands of people on these trips, and we had a video of a guy getting adjusted for the first time in his life. He had a twitch in his face for like 40 years, and it's all in videos. I didn't even take the video, but it showed up and this guy's twitch went away. Why did we not see that here?
We do see it here if you look.
But why is it like people aren't showing up obviously. They got on the mission trip. Mine was in the Haiti and Dominican Republic. They're understanding that the body that made the power that made the body heals the body. That was their introduction to chiropractic, and they go, okay, it can help me, no matter what's going on. So they go in very clear and open minded.
Because people in third world countries, because I travel a lot too, and I don't need to go on a mission trip. I can go to Indonesia, and by the time I'm done with my vacation there, I'm adjusting half the people on the island. That's the way it works for me. Or I go to Samoa and I adjust the king's wife from that whatever island I'm on, and then they give us rights to surf on, because you can't surf on Sundays in Samoa because it's a religious thing. You can't do that. So I adjusted the king's wife on the island, and he said, you guys have the rights to go out and surf today. So that was cool. So wherever I go, again, chiropractic is a universal language. It's not like you don't even need to know the people's names when you adjust people. You just, and you can explain that, I'm going to adjust you and God's going to do the healing. That's all you need to say, man. I mean, I'm going to remove the interference in your body and God's going to do the healing, because there's a God within each one of us. And it's weak in chiropractic, whether I know I get a lot of hate on this, dude. I can't understand where some of these chiropractors are coming from, that they don't even believe in innate intelligence. I go, well, how do you explain the fact that the body knows exactly how many white blood cells, how many red blood cells, it knows how to cause all these neurons in your brain so you can think thoughts, it controls your respiratory function, cardiac.
Yeah.
How do you explain that, bro?
Yeah, I don't get it in any aspect in the world, in any profession, anything. Like, really, cut your finger. What does the work?
Right.
Innate. What makes a freaking seed turn into a tree?
Innate.
There you go. Right. It's life.
Right. It's life. Exactly. And I mean, however you want to define that intelligence is, but it's funny that, and that's one of the things I want to address at CalJam this year. And I know your audience is not just chiropractors, but it's that some of the chiropractic, and that's why it's important, the chiropractor that you pick for you and your family.
100%. You
need to pick a vitalistic chiropractor, in my opinion, somebody that's not just there to treat your pain and then push you out of the office. We're there to increase your life potential by adjusting you. Sure, most people come to me with pain, and then I teach them the chiropractic story, and I teach them the above, down, inside out principles of chiropractic. But I think it's super important to make sure that you pick a chiropractor. Like I did a podcast with Mercola, and Mercola interviewed me, and that went out to literally, it was like 350,000 views on YouTube, and I got just probably, I would say, upwards of 1,000 different emails of people wanting chiropractors that think the way I think, because it makes sense, bro. Chiropractic makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if we're thinking the same way the allopathic or that medical model is thinking, what direction are we really going in? More
drugs, bro. And that's the whole thing. They're pushing for more vaccines, more drugs. And if that's what people want, I don't have a problem. Go, bro. But if you're looking for freedom and you're looking for expression, you're looking for energy and vitality, you're looking for a kick butt immune system, then this is what we're going to do. And yeah, some of it's outside the chiropractic scope. Yeah, I may talk about cannabis, man. And I don't take cannabis because I have cancer. I'm taking it because I want to prevent cancer. I mean, people take it that got stage 4 cancer, and I see it all the time, and their cancer goes in remission. Well, maybe there's something there. I'm also using cannabis it's neuroprotective, it's neuroregenerative. I've used these products because it's a superfood that God put on the planet. And if you don't believe in God, then I don't know what to tell you. Mother Nature put it there then. But the thing is, we've got plants in our world that we can utilize to increase, again, our vibrational tone and increase our level of existence on this planet.
Yeah, I mean, we did a podcast with someone you referred over, with Peter, and just learning some of these patents. I mean, it's like the U.S. has a patent. It's a neuroprotectant. Hello, like McFly.
It's the best anti-inflammatory on the planet. I mean, and I talked to Jim Chestnut's real bit. He hasn't really done any research on it, but there's an endogenous, you have an endocannabinoid system, which has got more neurotransmitters than any other system in the body. And it modulates, even controls the nervous system. I mean, he was joking around about it. I mean, he promotes fish oils, but why would you promote fish oils if you could promote hemp oil, which is a better anti-inflammatory with all the other side benefits that goes along with it? Again, and then I also a big proponent of, using, like I do reishi mushrooms every day as far as for immune boosting. I did some lion's mane today to open up my brain because I knew I was going to be doing these plants. I did some nootropics, which are loaded with other medicinal phytonutrients. Mm-hmm. So again, I walk the talk on this stuff. Again, if people want to live at a higher level, there's a lot of things they can do other than just getting adjusted. And again, I don't have a problem with just getting adjusted, and that's all you want to do. And you want to eat McToilet, and you want to sit on your butt and watch TV. But if you want to live at a higher level, get adjusted. But there's other things that you can do. I'm big on just using – I was reading a book last night on heart health. One of my patients gave me as a Christmas book by Dr. Cowan. And it's amazing to just understand just how the heart and cardiovascular system works, because he's a cardiac surgeon. And it just science keeps revealing new and more stuff. So that's why I'm saying have faith in your body, man. It knows what it's doing.
Yeah, we interviewed this guy Steven Sinatra on our podcast, and he called integrative cardiologist. This guy was a brain, and he went from like we'll say that allopathic head of like heart surgery. I don't remember whatever hospital, to now he doesn't praise in his 70s now, but he's helping people through. He's a cardiologist helping people through eating and thinking and moving and getting grounded. Now all these like. Hold on. We have a cardiologist that's talking about this stuff. I mean, you don't have to go to the cardiologist to smoking cigarettes and like, what the hell is going on?
Dishing out a bunch of lisinopril, man. Is that he's not in or statin drugs? It's like, come on, man. People that stupid that they still do that shit.
Yeah. So it's neat, and I don't know. You've been in practice longer than I have, but I'm starting to have
as long
5 times as long.
Oh, you've been in practice 11 years.
11 years. My pop's 40. You're not there yet.
Three times.
Okay, good. All right, sounds fair. But so
I just got a podcast with Dale Brown, and he's been in practice 7 years, so I got you mixed up with him.
That's all right. That's all right. Sounds good. But so since you've been in practice, but I'm starting to see this trend in our practice. People are starting to be more curious to the more vitalistic part of things. They're asking questions like, what else can I really do? Because I want this to all work, right? And and then we have chiropractors saying, no, you don't, you just get adjusted 6 times. It's going to help with your low back pain.
Yeah.
And come back when it hurts again.
And how scientific is that?
How does that even make sense, right? But are you seeing those trends?
Evidence-based, but when your evidence is based on a subjective complaint like pain, that kind of throws everything out, in my opinion, you know? And I like to use, I'm a BioPhysics guy. I'm a structural guy, and I like to use x-rays pre and post. I like to prevent spinal degeneration, because if you prevent spinal degeneration, which I know you can, if you read of any Deed Harrison's work, the most published chiropractor probably on the planet, you understand that, you know, just like if you take care of your teeth, your teeth aren't going to rot. If you take care of your spine, it's probably not going to rot either. And there's a lot of things that you can do. And that's why I said, you know, I'm big on adjusting, because adjusting not only helps realign things, in my opinion.
It's connection, baby.
It's a connection, but it changes global alignment. But it's like if you read Heidi Havock's work, it's all about putting motion back in us, because motion is so important, especially for proper cognitive function. And again, I work with a lot of people, not only autistic kids, but I work with a lot of parents or people with Alzheimer's. It's so important for them to especially get upper cervical adjustments, because it opens those communication channels and those neurons to the brain. Yeah,
but just back to that question, are you seeing that same type of trend? I know your practice is thriving down in California, but are you seeing this trend of more people getting more interested in like what else can I do? Like I know the adjustments, like my primary thing that I need to make sure the nervous system is functioning well, but what else can I add? Is that like a trend you're seeing more of?
Yeah, and what we do in my practice, and as soon as CalJam's over, I'm just going to ramp the living daylights out of it, is that we do workshops in my office every week. And it's after CalJam, I'm doing a full blown detox workshop. And then I advertise that to my community. This is a marketing 101, man. They're not interested in coming to hear the chiropractic story. I mean, and I have a workshop. I did the doctor's report last night. It's straight 100% the chiropractic story. Okay, it's subluxation, man. But if you really want to attract the masses to your practice, I use different bait. So the cannabis workshop, dude, is one of the biggest ones. I mean, I can put 60 people in this room tomorrow night if I wanted to do, by doing a Facebook post about cannabis, all of its, you know, supposed benefits through, you know, all the research that's been done at the National Institute of Health. I don't make this stuff up. It's all there. And people are very inquisitive about cannabis. They're very inquisitive about detoxification. They're very inquisitive about eating healthy. They're very inquisitive about grounding and lifestyle and all those different things. And I use that as bait. And then when they get it, then I teach them the chiropractic story at the end of it. And then I introduce the opportunity for somebody to come in and have a spinal exam. Because I mean, I get it. You know, I was thinking this the other day, is that, you know, everybody sees the whole, you know, thing with detox and nutrition. Mm-hmm. Most people, not everybody. Obviously, there's areas of the planet where people still are consuming those products and killing themselves and they're literally, that's I mean, chiropractors want to shoot me in the back for talking about vaccines, but dude, they're murdering kids. I mean, I'm speaking out of the fact that they're murdering children. Why is that wrong? Because it's not because I'm a chiropractor. It's because I'm a human being that cares about other people. I care about kids. I care about children. I care about them having the same potential for life that I have in my life, So.
Yeah. So let's dive in. This is good. I'm enjoying this. But you say it is bait, but I really think of it. I mean, it sounds cool that way that you're bringing people in, but people are interested in outside the box stuff more, and it's becoming so, I think, so important in our society that,
because people are waking up, dude.
Yeah,
they're waking up, and they're understanding the news. And again, I heard this on the radio the other day. They want to get rid of the term fake news, because fake news is real, man. It's all the news that people get, all the media bullshit that people are blasted every day is brainwashing. It's conditioning them to live at a lower level, to be a less expression of what they are, to squash any creativity and imaginative forces that they have. They want people in those little boxes to follow in lines, to get their flu shots like everybody's mandated to do, to get their kids vaccinated, to take your pills, put your kid on ADHD drugs. Don't go to a chiropractor because they're dangerous. Take your opiates, but don't do anything like cannabis, which is one of the safest chemicals on the planet.
Yeah. But why, and this is funny. You mentioned like flu vaccines, and I was written up in paper a couple of years ago when it happened, when that whole thing blew up in Disney World. What was it? The measles outbreak or whatever they said, like the 3 people or whatever it was. Right.
Here, let me ask you this from common sense. How would you know where somebody got the measles? How could you say it happened at Disneyland?
Exactly.
How would you know?
Exactly.
It's all the BS that people are brainwashed to believe,
Exactly. But my point is saying, so I got interviewed and they were talking to me like, well, what do you think on this? And it's like, well, we all have a choice on what the hell we want to do. Do we not? Right? Don't we all have a choice and a choice to actually understand what people are putting and what we're putting in our bodies? And is there a reason why nurses are being fired all over the country because they're refusing to take these vaccines?
Because they inherently know the truth,
they
bro.
But that's what I'm saying. If nurses and doctors are being fired because they don't want to walk around wearing, like a mask all day, like whatever the hell they have to wear, how do we not see this? How does society not see this change, like this reality?
Most people are living in a fog with layers and layers of conditioning and brainwashing, and they are just basically drooling sloths that do whatever they're told. And that's what my job as a chiropractor is number one, liberate that spirit from within by removing vertebral subluxation, but also remove the subluxations caused by just hideous chemistry and hideous mental conditioning that everyone goes through. I mean, it's so friggin' blatantly obvious to see what's going on, and most people that can't see it because they're in that haze, they're in that fog, they're receptive to whatever they're told on TV that is going on in the world. And when people like you and I try to speak the truth, they want to call us conspiracy theorists because we're outside of the box, dude. We see reality for what it is. Reality is painted by whatever picture they want you to believe. And again, once you're outside of that matrix, dude, you see clarity. You have clarity. You can see exactly what's going on, and you're seeing how people are being conditioned and brainwashed into the box that they live in. And then you and I liberate them, and it's like sometimes, if for some people it's too much to handle, they like it in the box, dude. They don't want to get outside the box. They like that cozy little box that they're in. They don't want to shake up the world. They don't want to clear the fog so people can see the beauty of what life is actually really about.
Yeah. So then let's do this. So speaking to chiropractors and speaking to the public, I consider you an expert in kind of disseminating information. Just through CalJam alone, I've learned so much. I have notebooks full from sitting through, I'm the guy that sits in my seat and I don't move. And I just I'll go to the bathroom at the break and drink my bulletproof coffee in a break and then come back in and I'm taking notes. So for the chiros out there that haven't been to CalJam, I want to say, yes, you need to go. It's an experience.
Hey, if they can handle it, dude.
It's okay. Listen, if they want to show up and then they leave, so be it. That's their own prerogative. but it's an eye opener because
allopathic chiropractor, it's not going to be your gig.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be their gig, but maybe you may wake someone up, right? I mean, exactly, right? But so this is the question though. So if I'm a chiropractor, but if for other chiropractors out there, what kind of steps, what would you say, listen, besides coming to CalJam, besides being connected to like philosophical groups in chiropractic and organizations, what couple steps, like what would you say, listen, you need to do these few things that are maybe like get you outside the box a little bit, maybe just to take a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a step? What would you say? Like do a cannabis workshop, or just do like, listen, make yourself available?
I think, first of all, for me, what really changed my life was going to DE and programs like New Beginnings, where you're getting steeped in chiropractic philosophy. And I never intended CalJam to be that. That's why, I get a lot of times chiro haters that, well, it's not just chiropractic. I didn't want to be that guy. There's already those gigs out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's great gigs. And for me, I got grounded in the principles of ADIO, principles of chiropractic. And that's where I learned, I listened to Fred Barge talk about vaccines. I had no idea before that. People say it's not a chiropractic issue, but I learned it from probably one of the most important dudes in chiropractic ever, which is Fred Barge. He had more, he had more effect on me, and he was more of a mentor to me than BJ Palmer ever was, because I could actually read his books and glean a lot of information. Not that I couldn't read BJ's book, but to me, I got better clarity through Life Without Fear, through One Cause, One Cure, Are You the Doctor, all his other books on scoliosis and torticollis. That dude to me was somebody that I could actually hang out with. Somebody that I could sit down and have dinner with, and somebody I could talk to, not only read his books. So for me, you need to get steeped in the chiropractic principles, and then it's easy to layer on all the other things. And I'm a big fan of John Rappaport. In fact, I'm going to reach out to him and do a podcast. I read his stuff every day, because a lot of times, I don't know if you feel this, sometimes you go, maybe I'm pushing too hard, bro. Maybe it's just like, maybe I'm outside, way too far outside the box. But then I read John's stuff, and it's just like, he just keeps me grounded in what I know is truth, because and he's really big about talking about the matrix, how everybody lives in that matrix. And I get a lot of ideas from John Rappaport's stuff. And again, that's where I get a lot of my ideas for podcasts, but also for a lot of my posts on Facebook. So.
Yeah, so that's for the chiropractic audience. So if you were going to talk to the audience that's around the country, around the world, actually listening to Lifestyle Locker Radio, the maybe non-chiropractors, if you were to say, listen, I want you to do these three things, and I already know number one is get to a vitalistic chiropractor, but what other two things would you say, listen, these are things that are going to help you jumpstart your lifestyle, because you may have been missing the boat for a long time?
I think it's important that people listen to podcasts like your podcast, because you bring in a lot of different health experts. And it's easy. Of course, I would love people to come to CalJam. And caljam.org is open to the general public. I figured, I'm going to invite the chiropractors. And if not everybody, if I don't fill the place with chiropractors, I'm going to invite the general public. And last year we had 500 people from general public. And my goal is also to attract non-chiropractors to the event, and then actually encourage them and maybe entice them into a career of chiropractic, because there's not a better profession on the planet, dude. There's nothing better than what we do. You get to change people's lives, dude. You get to take them out of that quagmire that they're living in, and spray them off and clean them off, and give them a new you, and give them new vitality and new energy and a new immune system and new clarity. That's what chiropractic to me is.
Yeah, that's huge. And
just read books.
Thank you.
I'm an incessant reader, dude. I read for 2 hours last night. There's nothing that I loved. I love surfing, and I surf every day, but I also read at least an hour every night before bed. And I was reading that book on heart health. I wish I knew the name of the book. And I read John Rappaport's stuff every day. That keeps me grounded. I read some recreationals. I'm reading a book. I just finished a book on Bon Scott from AC/DC. And again, that was a good book for me to read, because it showed his incessant alcoholism. And again, I had struggles with, that was my dragon I had to slay back 12 years ago. I had to slay the alcohol dragon. And it's good for me to read that stuff, because it just reminds me of where I was and where I don't want to go again. And I didn't intend to talk about that right now, but I'm just saying I love to read. Turn off your TV set. Your TV set is nothing more than a brainwashing tool. Again, there's probably some good things on TV, but I would rather read a book and be educated and stimulate neurons in my brain rather than fry them. I'm not a big fan of cell phones either. So if you're going to use cell phones, use those very sparingly. I can guarantee you there's going to be huge epidemics of not only brain cancer, but ovarian cancer. There's already breast cancer. And I think a lot of it has to do from the radiation from cell phones.
Yeah.
And I don't own one. You can own one. Use it all you want. I've lived through times when we actually had to dial numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. We stepped to push buttons and
dial? What do you say? What do you say?
Don't you remember those?
I do remember that. Yeah, of course I do.
Hey, the people had zeros in their line because I got to turn it all the way around. And you watch it all the way. And again, I built an amazing life without cell phones, and I'm just a renegade, dude. I see it. I see how people are just so addicted to their phone, dude. It's like these kids come in and they can't even lay on the chiropractic table without holding onto their friggin' phone. I go, in fact, I want to make a rule where you can't even bring those friggin' things in the office anymore. I mean, to me, they're just despicable. They just disconnect people from human connection. It's a digital connection to people where people can be mean to people, in social media because they're on their little keyboard typing whatever but if they had to say that to a person's face, they would never do it,
Exactly. And you get into phones and TV. I'm starting to, again, you've been in practice longer than I have, but I think this is really interesting that the community and communication is been going down the tubes. And I think that's hurting our health so much. I mean,
it's
so
part
much.
of the master plan, bro. It's all part of the master plan.
Yeah.
It should just control people and in future enslave them. That's all it is. And if you want to think it's conspiracy theory, you just haven't looked, If you think vaccines are great, it's because you haven't looked. If you think nutrition's a hoax, it's because you haven't looked. If you think chiropractic's a hoax, it's just because you haven't studied it, It's people don't want to admit they don't know, It's like a lot of times people want to throw arrows at me. It's because I'm rocking their whole foundation of everything that they've been blatantly brainwashed to believe.
But it's interesting being
you tell people. Yeah. I'm interviewing you now. What do you tell your people in life? How do you get them to live at a higher level?
I share people like you. I share people like dentists, like cardiologists, like someone I'm not sure if I think maybe he's speaking at CalGem this year, Zach Bush.
The dude's amazing, man.
Triple board certified medical doctor that gets it. It gets the big idea.
Core, man.
So the way I communicate is the way I share is I just try to disseminate this information through it started through my practice, and now it's kind of bouncing around the planet all over the place. We have listeners, I don't know how many countries at the moment, but people are starting to ask questions going like, wow, I didn't know. What else can I do? I didn't know. And that's why I start to find all these different people to interview. They kind of start falling in my lap now, from functional medicine to dentists to life coaches to chiropractors. It's amazing.
And that's what I really love about what I'm doing. It's like I built these bridges to, we've always wanted to keep chiropractic in the chiropractic little family. We don't want to, it's like, let's bridge out to guys like Dave Asprey, who's got a huge biohack. And I'm going to be on a stage. I guarantee you, because the ultimate biohack is what? Chiropractic. I reach out to guys like David Wolf, who has a longevity conference and has him speak at my event, so I can leapfrog to his event, because those people are already people that get the big idea. They just haven't heard the big idea. Yeah. And that's what we need to do, is we need to make more alliances with guys like Zach Bush or Joe Mercola, or these people that have huge followings that they've never had their people ever hear the chiropractic story. So it's great that we go to DE, and it's great that we go to New Beginnings for our own edification and our own understanding of chiropractic principles. But we need to get outside of our own little bubble and get out to the world if we're really going to make really shit happen and change the world I'm ultimately going to do.
That's the plan, man. Changing the world and saving it.
Just me. There's you. You're doing it through your your format with your podcast. Like you said, your CalGem is a lifestyle locker. So it's great that I just got off the phone with Dale Brown, who's the wild doc, in Tennessee. He's doing it through YouTube. I really encourage every person out there, not just chiropractors, because I'm this year at CalGym, I'm really going to talk about people's conviction to change the planet. No, it's not about me, dude. I'm 60. Okay, I'm going to be 60 next year. I keep saying I'm 60. I'm only 50 now. Okay. But the thing is, I'm concerned about the planet these kids are going to get. And again, CalGym's not just about chiropractic. I talk about other issues, Fukushima. I talk about geoengineering. I talk about GMO, glyphosate, because we have to live on. You can adjust to your blue in the face, but if we don't have a planet to live on, what good is chiropractic, man? Where are you going to put your chiropractic colleges? On Mars? We have to nurture this planet, and I need to get people to understand what we're doing to this planet if these kids are going to have anywhere to live and anywhere to raise their children.
Yeah, our chiropractic offices really have to be beacons for health in our own communities. I mean, yeah, you're obviously that beacon out west. I know that for a fact. But I'm seeing such a disconnect the same way you are with, people looking at me differently now that I've started what I started. Right. Just because I'm a little different.
I asked Dale earlier, the Wild Doc, really, I mean, how do you have a lot of haters? You probably don't.
Not a ton, no.
No. And I don't have as many as I used to. And I actually, to be honest with you, I miss them. I do. Because the more, interaction you have, say on a Facebook post, let's use that for an example.
Yeah.
The more interaction, the more that spins you, and the more likes you get and more comments you get, the more that spins you in the algorithms and gets you out there. So like, even when I got the haters in there, I like to kind of encourage them so I'll say something back to them so they respond back, and then I get other haters piling on, and that's what really spins this stuff out, and it gets people thinking, because you look at the way I think, and then you look at the way the haters think and what they're trying to teach you. It's like, you have your choice, man. You want to vaccinate your kids? Go for it, dude. Or you want to live a lifestyle like you and I probably teach. Not all chiropractors. A lot of chiropractors think vaccines are great. I don't.
Doesn't make any sense.
But that's one of the. I had a huge onslaught of haters on a CCA, a California Chiropractic Association. They were Leslie Hewitt's the president of the CCA, and she's speaking this year. And they did a post for us mentioning that they're going to be at CalGym this year, and all these chiropractors, and a lot of them weren't even from California. They were actually Billy D haters, got on the page and can't believe that the California Chiropractic Association is affiliating with the CalGym. Billy D is all about conspiracy theories. He talks about chemtrails. He's anti-vaccines. He's unscientific. I'm an evidence-based chiropractor. I treat people for 6 visits, and when their pain's gone, I scientifically release them, and then they only come back when they have pain again. I'm like, how scientific is that, dude?
Yeah.
So
the anti-scientific is what that is.
You realize chiropractors thought that really allopathically, and that it disturbs me that chiropractors would vaccinate their own kids when you should live an ADIO principle, and vaccination to me is the biggest violation of ADIO ever.
Yeah, and this is an interesting question, because what someone asked me, because we have a sign on our office that just lists, it says 81 vaccines by the time I don't remember the age, but it's this little poster on the wall. And someone goes, "Do you believe in vaccines?" I'm like, "I don't really believe in them. Is it really a belief?" They said, "Well, why you have that up? What's the benefit?" I go, "I don't have any benefit from it, from me keeping it up." But I go, the only people that have a benefit from learning about vaccines or promoting vaccines are vaccine companies.
Right.
That's the only person. How you I'm like, I'm not financially tied whatsoever. I get $0 from the anti-vaccine camp or the whomever that may be. I'm more here's the real information.
It's career suicide, because you have 97% of the people out there that vaccinate their kids, and then you're like this. I attract people that get it. That's one thing about social media. I had a lady that came in from Dale Brown, who I just referred somebody in because she reached out to him, and people that come to me already get it, dude. They're already on board with our philosophy. I don't attract vaccine loving, drug taking people. I mean, I get vitalistic people that come to my practice, and they're easy to work with, and they're a joy to work with. So that's what I love about social media. It gives us a platform and a way to get and disseminate our information versus what people have been brainwashed to believe on the sinking mainstream media. That is like people are waking up to that whole reality of just the corruption in media today.
Yeah, it's insanely scary what the world is now. I mean, when I started in practice, I've seen so many in my 11 years. It's been changed. I think like light years, right?
Yeah.
From I can't even from vaccines to me and you obviously, but me starting to talk about lifestyle, and it's like, well, are you sure you want to talk about that? What do you mean? Am I sure I want to talk about it? I exercise almost every day. I have green smoothies. I take vitamins. Why would I not?
You don't eat Philly cheesesteaks every day?
No, I meditate every day. I mean, I'm like this.
Meditated this morning, bro.
Me too. Like these oddballs that do healthy things. I mean, dude, if I'm going to share the video too. When I put this up and you say you're 60 years old or almost 60 years old, people are going to go bullshit. That's what people are going to say.
Right.
But you live.
Then what we can do is, and then we can paddle out and go surfing, bro. And I'm still on a shortboard. I mean, I'm still on a snowboard. I mean, I don't act like I'm 60. I mean, I probably have more energy than most 30-year-olds that come see me. Okay.
I may have to agree with that. I've hung out with you quite a few times. You definitely do.
I'm always the last person standing. Like at band practice, everybody in the band's already sitting down. It's like 12:30, and I'm ready to just keep rocking, dude. I mean, I don't know where I get the energy. I get the energy because I eat the right kinds of foods. I get exercise. I get adjusted. I get proper rest. I mean, it ain't hard, dude. I detoxify. I mean, it's not hard. And I get grounded. Like I run on the sand. I surf in the ocean. Those are grounding principles. I sleep on grounded sheets. I do things to raise my energy. And then you wonder why I have so much energy. You wonder why I have a kick-ass immune system and I don't get sick. Because I do what you need to do to be healthy. I live a lifestyle like you teach.
You do it right. I mean, it comes down to it.
Sit and eat burgers and fries and look like a slob, then do that. I mean, I'm not telling you not to do that. But again, people aren't going to want to emulate your lifestyle if that's what you do.
Yeah.
People want to have the vitality. They see, I mean, I'll use myself as an example, but I mean, I'm not bragging. It's just like when you're in shape and you've got a certain energy, people want to emulate. They want to know what you do. And again, of course, number one, I get adjusted and call it, overutilization. I get adjusted 3 or 4 times a week because I know my body works better. And I'm not advocating everybody do that. I'm just saying that works for me. Okay.
You have an intense lifestyle. It's okay.
Yeah, I do. And then let's put my x-rays up next to your x-rays, Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Straight, or Dr. Straight, Dr. Allopathic Medipractic Chiropractic. Let's see whose x-rays look better, dude. I'll put my cervical neck up against anybody's, okay? No degeneration, beautiful disc spaces. And it's because I do what I teach people,
I want to give you a high five, man, through the computer.
I got 11:30. This has been great. We could keep going and going and going. I don't know how long your podcasts typically are.
This long.
Okay. Let's revisit this after CalGym. I would love to do another one with you because, I love what you're doing. And obviously, you come to CalGym, so I think you love what we're doing out here.
I do.
We're in our own ways. We're both getting the message out to the world.
Yeah.
You don't have to rent an auditorium and
this fancy $75 microphone right here.
Yeah, I'll get every year about $500,000. People ask, it's just part of putting on a rock show, dude. And I want to put on a rock show. And I welcome everyone from your audience and even from my audience and our chiropractors. You can come to California Jam and get inspired to become more of a voice in your community, so literally we can change the world for the betterment of not us so much, but for our children and their children, so that future generations have a planet and also a healthcare system that's in congruence with the lifestyle that we want to live, the lifestyle blocker.
Man.
Okay?
Yeah, man. So everybody, I'm going to say the same thing, dude. Billy, thank you so much. You got to get to CalGym. If you're a chiro, just go. Just go. You will love it. And if you don't love it, you're just going to be like woken up to something that's so different than you've ever heard before. And the chiropractic's pure chiropractic, but you're going to live that lifestyle if you show up. I mean, you'd be drinking bulletproof coffee, walking around getting green smoothies through the whole the vendor area. It's awesome.
And then dancing your ass off at the after party.
I don't even know. Well, you have an after party? Just kidding.
I've seen you there.
Oh,
dude.
man. I know. I'm all in, man, when I'm there. So please, everybody, get to CalJam. Follow Billy D on social media. You got it.
Yeah. Facebook, Billy DeMoss.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off. As I always say, rock and roll.
Lifestyle Locker, how much did you love the real, the raw Dr. Billy DeMoss? If you want to follow him, you already know how to do that. He told you that a few seconds ago. But all his details, all the connections you need to make will be at lifestylelocker.com/Billy DeMoss. You can connect with him in many different ways, and make sure you stay tuned for Lifestyle Locker's newest and upcoming speakers. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Remember, your lifestyle is your choice, and we want you to have the most awesome one there is. Have an awesome day, peeps. I'm out. Bye-bye.